Goodbye, strut. Hi, internet folk. Behind me, that's a Forester Gump. If you're new, up above my head is the last video where I worked on a Forester Gump. That'll get you caught up. Everybody else, it's time to put these wheels on, take this thing for a rip. The other night, I finished up the STi Brembo conversion on the jar side rear corner, put the new lower control arm on, and torqued all the hardware up. It's ready to go with the exception of now I need to bleed the brakes. And I need to decide whether or not I'm gonna put decals on these Regamasters right now. And also ceramic coat them to protect them because these are the most expensive wheels I've ever purchased in my entire damn life. Gotta change this fluid out with some new Motul stuff and drain the rest of the stuff that's out of there. I'll admit I'm a bit guilty of never replacing the brake fluid on my Forester, and I've owned this thing for going on 6 years now. I know how often you're supposed to change it. And it is looking a bit grody inside there. Why? I hate it when my nipples get stuck. That sounds so weird. As far as the master cylinder goes, I know some of you that know are going to ask what I'm doing about that, since obviously the Forester master cylinder and brake booster are not going to be the same as what comes on an STi with these Brembos. And I'll actually show you real quick. I did think about the brake master cylinder when I was doing this upgrade. However, I want to try driving it before I swap out to the STi master cylinder and booster, because I may actually like this setup better. Who knows? Weird things happen. On my board of measurements here, you can see BMC stands for brake master cylinder. The factory Forester one is a 23.9 millimeter unit or a 0.94 inch. The STi is a 27 mil or 1 1/16 inch. That little difference in diameter is enough that's probably going to affect pedal feel as well as brake force. But again, I don't know until I drive it to see how it actually feels before I go and swap this out. You know, speaking of this board too, there's a bunch of measurements on here that involve weight reduction. I want to show you that a little bit in the video also. But let's get back to work with the stuff that matters. Now I got this thing to flow. That works good. Works really good. This side's good. Now to do the other corner. It's working good now. It wasn't doing that well when I first started trying to bleed this, but sucking it down. Yeah, suck that fluid down, Forester. Suck it. That thing's still a quarter full, and I got all the air out of it so far. I just gotta bleed the rest of the brakes. Opens the door. I got all that fluid flushed out, all the old fluid. They're pretty well bled. I'm gonna do a little bit more here in a second, but it's time to say goodbye to the Rally Armor mud flaps. You've lived a good life, but I'm not about you anymore, so look at that. I've had these things on the Forester since this thing was brand new. Like, I think maybe a few months old. I only have like a handful of clipper doodles. Ah, I don't even know why I had those things on there to begin with. I mean, this thing's never gonna see off-road, and it's not like I vape, so I just like rally. I can't help it. I did keep these things clean though. Look at that. I can't even tell these things are mud flaps. They're just clean. Are you not turning? You stupid. There's a nut behind it. That's what she said. I just bled it a little bit more. I didn't film it. Now it's time to test the pedal feel. Chew and drive. Alright, I gotta open the garage door before I exfoliate, something like that. And I gotta show you what's on this dry erase board. We're gonna do it real quick because we got more important stuff than science and math, but I know some of you want to know how much weight did I save by doing all this stuff. If you don't live in America, I apologize. This is calculated in pounds. Right, factory Forester parts. Left, upgraded parts. Total weight loss and unsprung mass for the front of the vehicle is 27.8 pounds. Left and right combined. On the other hand, the rears were pretty much a complete wash because they're just much beefier of a brake setup than factory, especially because of the fact that I went to a 190 millimeter parking brake over the Forester's factory 170 millimeter. It is 0.2 pounds left to right lighter in unsprung mass than factory, not much. The grand total system weight loss and unsprung mass for the Forester is 28 pounds, which is quite substantial for those of you that know, because you know. Now for the fun part, the wheels. I gotta ceramic coat them first, and I'm not turning this into a tutorial, so I'm gonna time lapse it super quick. The product is Car Lift 56 by Phytech. It is not sponsored, but this stuff is a ceramic coating designed just for wheels, and I've always wanted to try it. It's been sitting in my cupboard for like 2 years. So let's time lapse, and I'll see you mañana. That's a finished Focus sitting in my driveway. The cage is done and it's ready for me to start working on it again. Last night I thought long and hard about how I'm going to do the decals on this wheel. Now on the screen is what it looks like with all of the decals on the wheel. I'm going to put the barrel lip decal on the wheel, which goes right inside the lip right here, and that is it. That's all I'm choosing to do on here. So it's just a subtle touch. You can't see it when you're looking on at the wheel, only when you're looking down at it. I know someone's gonna ask this, but no, I did not ceramic coat the faces or the lips of the wheels last night, only the inside of the barrel. I'll do that after these go on. It looks so good. I gotta torque-upine these lug nuts real quick, and then we're gonna go out so you can see it out in the world. That, and I gotta swap out the pads for the DBA ones. They're supposed to be here sometime next week, so I don't really want to bed these ones in until the new ones are here. I didn't really think about the fact that the sun's going down and it's a white vehicle with dark colored wheels, and that just kind of naturally hides the wheel. So, but here you go. I didn't really get to test out the brakes because I'm still waiting on the pads to arrive, and I know some of you were like, why didn't you just wait to film all this once you got all the parts? I didn't know when the pads were actually gonna come in. The pads are super quick to change out, maybe like 10 minutes. I'll pull out the pads, stick new ones in there, and I'll be good to go. I apparently picked like a hot time of day to do this. There's so many people keep going by like walking dogs and on bikes and stuff. I feel like such a douchebag standing out here on the side of the road filming this. But I'm gonna go back to the house because I have something to do on the Focus real quick that you might enjoy. I got the Focus in the garage and I got a fabric cobbler here to help me out because I need to take some measurements from the suspension of the Focus and I have to get this done tonight. So he's gonna help me out so we can knock this out really quick, and I'll explain why. Thank you for finishing the roll cage. I appreciate it. You want to just start at the rear and then knock out the front, or front first?
Well, I have to do one side, so.
Just do the front?
Yeah.
After taking this thing down a dirt road, I discovered that the suspension of these little hockey puck spacers I have is absolute trash. So that's what I'm doing right now. This one doesn't have a lock on the back. Oh, this thing's hot. Sitting in the sun all day. Oh my God. The brakes are so horrible. I gotta do brakes on this thing. Yes, that is a snow tire and I live in Arizona. It's a budget rally tire. For all 4 of these tires, it costs what one actual rally tire costs. And these are gonna wear out quicker. It's not really meant to be used in the hot desert, but it's like a quarter of the price. Who cares? Just one bolt. That's really easy rear shock to remove. Wonder if this shock is blown. Good thing I had that jack stand in there. Here you go. Yeah, something tells me that this front ball joint is bad. It looks like I'm flicking a nipple. I'm gonna stop doing that now.
I think if your car was full interior and had some weight to it, and you were able to put like an extended shock absorber on it, it wouldn't be bad. But because there's no weight, because it's completely gutted, and it has the SVT shock, there's no down travel anymore.
Yeah, it's okay. Hey, it's made in España. So what I'm doing right now is I'm removing the rear coil spring from the suspension, and he's taking out the one in the front. So that way we can see the limit of travel for the suspension without any restrictions. And the only way to do that is by removing the springs from the suspension, so that way the suspension can articulate freely. So you basically got to remove the springs because that's going to make it more difficult to flex.
No issue.
What the hell? There you go. Goodbye, strut. You are now an anti-sway bar. Wait, no. No. Now you are a sway bar. Oh yeah, this is exactly what I think of when I think of rally cars. This turd on a stick is my suspension. No wonder this thing rode like absolute poop. I realize this video started out all about the Forester and now we're working on this, but you just get a 2-for-1. You're welcome. That's just what happens. Oh yeah, there's plenty of articulation now. Look at this. Some of you might just be watching Forester content and might not have clicked on Focus content. So this is a way for me to pop your cherry on Focus content, and maybe now you'll want to see Focus content. Step 1 was to make a measurement from the center of the axle to the bottom of the fender well. Now, what I need to do, now the suspension is out of there, is see how far the travel is upward. Oh wow, that's how far the wheel will go up?
Yeah.
This thing's got a ton of travel.
So now we need to take a measurement from here to here.
What about the maximum droop?
The droop? I think that's the next step. This is 16 1/4.
Down 16.25?
Yeah. Okay, now right there to the pinch bolts, 12 1/4. You're aiming to have 2 to 3 inches of damper stroke before you hit the bump stop.
Yep.
All the way.
All the way?
Till it almost starts picking the car up off the quick jack.
Are you serious? Well, the bump stop is now gonna hit the
11 7/8.
That is so crazy. Okay.
17 and 5/8.
17 5/8?
Yeah, that'll work.
All right. Slight problem with the design of the factory rear suspension on this Focus. There is no down travel whatsoever. It's limited by the travel of the rear strut at ride height.
Once you put a lift kit in it.
So if we undo that rear strut and then we can get a theoretical calculation. Oh my god, this is a heavy wheel. Wow. This is crazy. Shut up. By now, some of you are probably figuring out what it is these measurements are being taken for. And there you go. That was the benefit of watching to the very end of the video, because now you see what's happening to the Focus here in the next month or so. It's probably exactly what you're speculating. So there you go. Just a little taste of what's to come on the Focus. I'm not really going to explain too much more because you'll just see in the next video on the Focus. But thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, I'm gonna take that sheet load of measurements over there on that piece of paper, send them off, and then there will be something being developed and designed for the Focus that will be happening soon, and I have a ton of content coming on that. As far as this guy goes, I got those flares I have to paint still and stick on there, and then dial in the coilovers, put the new pads in, get everything aligned, do the alignment on it, bed in the pads, and I'll give this thing a good test and see how it handles now. I just wanted to make sure everything was good to go, and then I'm gonna recheck all my torque specs. But yeah. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon with another. Bye.